So we're on page 45, and the problems that we're going to do are 16 right here, and we're going to do 20, and we're going to do 23. So let's get started on number 16. Here we're told that a bookstore sold 11 books for a total of $107. If some of the books were sold for $7 each and some for $12 each, how many of each were sold? So the first statement here, the first part of the statement, bookstores sold $11 books, and then we know some were sold for $7 and some were sold for $12. We're going to let X equal the number of books sold at $7. This is just a number. Where 5 books sold, where 6 books sold, whatever. And Y is the number of books sold at $12. So therefore, the first sentence is X plus Y equals 11. Is our first equation. And so we've got 11 books here, and there's the 11 here. So now what we're going to do is calculate the revenue from a specific sale. So if we take the dollar value of a book times the number of books sold, we get the revenue from that book. So if we have a $7 book and we sell 5 of those books, the revenue is going to be $35. So we want to calculate the revenue because we're told that the total revenue is $107. Let's just go up there and you can see we're $107. So we want to calculate the revenue from the $7 books. $7 times the number of books sold at that price, and $12 times the number of books sold at that price gives us the revenue from each one. And when we add the two, we get 107, which is given in the problem. So we have equation 1 and we have equation 2, and what we're going to do is eliminate the X term. And we're going to multiply number 1 by minus 7, and then we get minus 7x minus 7y equals minus 77, because each term here, minus 7 times x, minus 7 times y, minus 7 times 11 gives us this one over here. And then the second equation, 7x plus 12y, we line up. So you can see that the minus 7x and the 7x are going to be eliminated. We have minus 7y plus 12y gives us 5y. Minus 77 plus 107 gives us 30. So y equals 6. So we can substitute y equal to 6 into equation 1. So x plus y equals 11. And so now, instead of y, we're going to put in 6. So we get 5 for x. So this is the number of books sold at $7, and this is the number of books sold at $12. So we have 6 books sold at $12 and 5 books sold at $7. So actually we could add these up. 6 times 12, 72. 5 times 7 is 35. And 72 and 35 gives us 107. We've done it right here. We check the answer with equation 2. We have 7x plus 12y. X is 5 and y is 6. So we get 35 here, 72 here, 107. And the right side of equation 2 is 107. number 20, we're told that we have $13 in coins consisting of dimes and quarters. How many of each do you have if you have 100 coins in all? So we're going to let X equal the number of dimes and Y equals the number of quarters. The value of a dime is 10 cents. The value of a quarter is 25 cents. If we want the value as part of the $13, what's contributing by the dimes and what's contributing by the quarters, we multiply the individual value plus times the number of coins to give us the value. So we have X plus Y equals 100 because we have 100 coins in all. So there are 100 coins made up of dimes and quarters. So X plus Y equals 100. Now we're going to multiply the dimes by their value. So if, for example, I had 10 dimes, the value, or I should say, let's choose a different number. Let's say I have 15 dimes, then the value would be 10 times 15 right here. Similarly, let's say I had, for example, not that this adds up to 100, but let's say the number of quarters was 30. The value of the quarters would be 25 times 30 here. So my second equation is I take the number of dimes, right, that I have, and I'm going to multiply it by 10. I'm going to take the number of quarters that I have and multiply it by 25, and that will give me $13. Now everything's in cents, so we put this in cents, we put this in cents, so we can't leave this in dollars. So $13 translates to 1,300 cents or 1,300 cents. So we now have two equations, and what we're going to do now is substitute in this. We're not going to use elimination. So X plus Y equals 100, so X equals 100 minus Y. So I'm going to put the plus Y on the other side, and then I'm going to substitute for the X in equation 2. So in equation 2, I've got 10X, but we just said X equals 100 minus Y, so I'm going to replace the X in the 10X with 100 minus Y plus 25, Y equals 1,300. Now we've got everything in terms of Y. The reason we do this is we've got everything in terms of Y. Now we can solve for Y. So using distributive rule, 10 times 100, gives me 1,000. 10 times minus Y gives me minus 25, minus 10Y. And I've got the plus 25Y. And now if I take the 25Y, subtract the 10Y, right here I get 15Y. I bring the 1,000 plus 1,000 from the left to the right. I subtract it from the 1,300, and I'm left with 300. So 15Y equals 300. I divide the 15Y by 15, I get Y. I divide the 300 by 15, I get 20. This is the number of quarters. So the value is 20 times 25, or 500 cents. Substituting Y equals 20 into 1, so when X plus Y equals 100, I'm going to solve for Y, and I'm going to replace the Y with a 20. Transpose the 20 from the left to the right, I get 100 minus 20, so X equals 80. The number of dimes is 80, and the value is 80 times 10, so 800 cents. So you can see the value of quarters is 500 cents. The value of the dimes is 800 cents. That gives me a total of 1,300 cents, which I should get. So this is exactly what I've done here. Check the answer with equation 2. Equation 2, we go back up right here. Let's see, right here. There's equation 2. 10x plus 25y equals 1300. So we're going to replace the x with the 80 right here. X is 80. Replace it over here. The y is 20. Okay. And so we get 800 plus 500. 10 times 80 is 800. 25 times 20 is 500, and then we get the 1300, and the right side is 1300. Now, in number 23 on page 45, we're told for a club trip, 4 members and 3 non-members must pay a total of $159, while 3 members and 2 non-members must pay $112. So we're going to set up the 2 equations. And in order to set up the equations, we're going to say let x equals the price for members and y equals the price for non-members. So the price times the number of people going. So we have 4 going, 4 members going at a price of x. That'll give us the revenue from the members. And we have 3 non-members, so 3 times the price for the non-members gives us the revenue from the non-members, and that totals $159. So what I'm saying is I got 4 members. They're each going to pay X dollars. And I've got 3 non-members, and they're each going to pay Y dollars. So that gives me the total revenue. It's always revenue here. So in the second equation, I have 3 members, each paying X, and plus 2Y must equal 112. So I have my 2 equations. Now I'm going to eliminate the Y term. Okay, I'm going to eliminate the y term. I could eliminate the x term, but I'm going to eliminate the y because I can see very clearly that if I multiply this by minus 2 and this by plus 3, that I'm going to get minus 6 and plus 6 here. So let's multiply minus 2 times 1, get minus 8x, minus 6y equals minus 318. I multiply this by minus 2, this by minus 2, and that by minus 2, and I get this line right over here. Now, for the second equation, whoops, small mistake here. So this should really read, let me just change that. This should read 2 here. Let me just change that to 2. Mistake there. So, multiply equation 2 by 3, and I get 9x plus 6y equals 336. So 9x plus 6y equals 336. So you'll notice that I have these same magnitude but equal in sign, opposite in sign. So the same magnitude but opposite in sign, so they'll sum to 0. 9x minus 8x gives me x. 336 minus 318 gives me 18. So I now know that the price for members is $18. I go back and I substitute it into equation 1. So I got 4 times x, 4 times 18 plus 3y equals 159. 4 times 18 is 72, plus 3y equals 159. So 3y equals 159 minus 72. 159 minus 72 is 87. So y equals 29. Check the answer using equation 2. go to 3x plus 2y equals 112. The left side is 3x plus 2y. How we're going to substitute 18 here for the x and 29 for the y. 3 times 18, 54. 2 times 29, 58. 54 plus 58 gives us 112. And the right side is 112.